shorts don't fit me anymore. These shorts are like 20 years old at least. They don't fit. I'm getting fat. There you go. Teach Me Grappling, what's up guys? Coach Brian here. And today we're not going to do live rounds, 5 minutes. We're going with knee shield training just for a couple minutes on bottom, couple minutes on top. I've got Brandon right here. He's up on top in my knee shield. He's trying to square up and bring me back to center. You see how he's walking? He's going to walk to the right, to his right, my left, and try to walk me back to center. He's got my wrist. I break that wrist grab. Again, I'm keeping a nice tight knee shield, and I'm working hard at staying sideways. Because if he gets me flat, that's when it gets tough for me. So now you can see me scooting the hip, using my locked knee shield. And now at that point, I abandoned. He did not stay close enough. So I was able to go to butterfly guard, and I immediately seize upon my favorite two-handed arm drag. I try to use a butterfly sweep. Doesn't quite work. I switch back to the arm drag, cut the angle, switch off to a double leg, get the sweep, get on top. He's feeding his right hand under my armpit, kind of like 100%, but I'm keeping it nice and tight as I control that ankle. You see that ankle with my left hand? I've got his ankle that allows me to get right into side control past that guard. I've got my right hand cross face. He's framing with his right. Now look at my left foot. I step on his calf or his ankle, and I do it again. I'm really trying to set him up. I do it a third time, and really, I just wanted to trick him to go in the mount, but he was too smart for that. Did not work. I ended up in a nice knee cut position. I've got the underhook. I kind of pulled it out for a second, but time runs out. Really short rounds, guys. We're only doing 2 minutes on bottom, 2 minutes on top. You get to start in the knee shield. So now I get to go on top, and we go. So watch. First thing I'm going to do, I step my right knee up, and then I stand up, and I try to walk him back to center. See me pushing that knee? He fed hard for my left thigh, so I went straight to the crossface, and I go, this is fine. Because the knee shield's not there anymore. He's looking to pull that leg, maybe get a knee bar or something going, but I now drop my left hip, and I start walking to the hips. That's going to shut down his leg grab, his grab of my leg. It's not going to put me in much danger. And then now as I'm here, I'm just driving my shoulder pressure. Now, I'm not really truly big enough to cause Brandon to feel a lot of pressure, but a lot of this is distraction. Notice I tried to threaten the mount. He got into quarter guard. I walk my right arm up, try to get that arm up, and then I make a mistake, and he gets his elbow back in. So again, when you're going with guys of different sizes, sometimes the bumps are threatening enough where a little guy has to spread, and due to that, I was not able to keep it like I would have liked to with somebody smaller. He then sucks me back into half guard, and I tried a different method. I bring my left elbow to the far side. I'm really trying to set up a guillotine. I'm kind of letting this guy up, and he kind of knows it because I've got his leg to slow him down, and I've got my right knee to slow him down, but I really want him to come up, and he's got his hands locked around the double leg, and I'm okay with it. I'm kind of like, just come up, and then boom, I check the guillotine. He stops it, so I go to 200%, or what most people would call 100%. This is 200%. I've got a video on that I did about 8 years ago where I lock a rear naked choke grip. I use that to sweep and flip him over. Now, technically, I was on top, so, you know, I'm no better right here, but I look to kick my leg out so I can get back on top. There isn't enough time, so I just decide, you know what, let me just get back up with my underhook, show my dominance by getting on top. So that's how that little short round ended, and I've got one more for you. I'm going to be going with Danny. So I'm on the bottom. I start out on the bottom, lock knee shield. He looks to leg weave. I kind of come out of that, and we end up in an open guard. Ooh, there's a little bit of spider guard right there, guys. People say no-gi spider guard doesn't work. I just did it. I don't know if you noticed. That was a solid 1 second spider guard. So now we go back into half guard, and I play another knee shield so he can practice. He ends up capturing my head. I kind of allowed it. I didn't really care too much. I now reverse grip his wrist, and I use it to roll him. So if you guys want to see that, that's a little move you can use. I get into half guard. He pushes me away to stop my smash pass, so I stand, and I immediately change angles, and now I'm controlling his feet, and I just got to break through his frames, my legs, a little fancy footwork, and I'm able to get past his frames. Knee on stomach, and now I'm controlling his wrist. And now when you see my right hand right there, that means I'm either looking for Dars or I'm looking for that Barato Plata. Now, I really wanted the Barato Plata. I really did. But instead, I ended up not being able to perform and catch it. I'm really just trying to set up. See my right hand in there? I pushed his wrist down. I checked the step over. He blocked it with his right arm, so I went back to knee on stomach. Step over his head, and I'm seeing what he's going to give me. And then I go back into a nice smashing side control. And then I take his arm. He's got his arm in between our bodies. I'm hugging it tightly. I try to pull it into a Dars. I threaten his neck enough with that Dars that he goes belly down. Beautiful defense. We've got that on video. I switched to an assassin, and I'm not quite able to secure the assassin, which is basically a guillotine up on top when you throw a guy in that position. Wrestling calls it the assassin. There might be other names the jiu-jitsu guys like to call it. So now I get my 2-minute round with me on top, him with the knee shield. Again, watch what I do. I go leg weave, roll the wrist, and then all of a sudden realize he's too strong for me, so fine. Knee up in the middle, walking back to center, and then I tried to X-pass, and I ended up trying to backstep and slipped on the mat right there. And now I'm salvaging my mistake, my slip up, and now check it out how I tie his ankles up. See that? My knees, I control his ankle, and now he looks to cross-face me and pull me, and I went, oh, I'll just mount you. So that was a nice little move right there that I made. And now look, he's trying to go for an Ezekiel while I'm in the mount, so I pulled his neck sideways. And then check this out. He's pushing my chin, and once I walk his arm up and he slips his elbow in, I go, let me go for my Ezekiel. He pulls at my hand and he blocks it, so I let it go, and then I just go back. And this time I got a much better grip. And now he's like, oh no, he wasted too much time and it's going to be too late. I've got my hand in there and he can't defend it. And I get the tap right there. So that's another little trick you guys can use. Go to the submission, release the submission, and then when they relax, they take a breath, go right back to the submission. So you can do that with stuff like Ezekiel's and other techniques. Again, he reaches over my head. This one becomes a little more precarious. I don't really like it too much because it kind of drops on his left hip. Kind of cranks my neck. I look to come up on top. Watch this when he drops. I look to come up, and then I realize the pressure's there, so I kind of brought him back on top of me. And then this ends with me getting the sweep. I switch to a lockdown. See the lockdown right there? And then I'm going to be able to get an old school. Look at my hand sneaks, grabs his foot, and then I get it, and I get the sweep. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Very short. Next time we'll get you guys some full live rounds. And that's it. We'll see you guys next time with more great stuff.